What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Del Sol content. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that last video. They're going to get coffee one if you saw it. If you didn't see it, go check it out. You might enjoy it. Now that the Del Sol is done, now that I'm broke again, kind of short on content for the moment. Not a huge issue, you know. It's kind of giving me a little bit of a break, although it is stressful because I do like making content for you guys. But I had one of you guys hit me up, a guy, his name is Eric, and he hit me up. He just picked up a DA recently, and thing is in pretty darn good condition. And he hit me up asking if I knew anybody that can get some service done on it, and or if I'd be able to do it myself. So I told him I would love to do it because I love helping you guys out, just helping people out in general. And it's a DA. Why wouldn't I want to work on a DA? I love them. So he just left the house here. He's been over here for about an hour and a half or so talking, showing me around. So we're doing just a few little basic things on it. He had a full service tune-up done to it from a shop out here. The shop AD, if you guys remember, used to work at Hanman, did valves and checked out time belt and all that stuff, so gave it the all good. Still has a little bit of a, maybe not surge, but a little bit of a rough idle, he said, so maybe try and tinker with that for him. But he asked me if he could get the trailing arm bushings done. He got coil strut combos, coil spring combos. He got some teen drop springs and some new struts, and then he got some hard race trailing arm bushings. So here we got all those parts, some nice teens. So he asked me if I could install those for him, and then he also wanted to do the clutch and flywheel. He bought a kit, clutch flywheel kit, so that is in that box. So I told him happily. It's all easy stuff, you know. And while we were here, I noticed he has a little bit of an oil leak. Could smell it when he pulled up, so I'm assuming, judging by where it's leaking right now, it's probably the rear main seal. So we're gonna do the rear main seal while we're in there anyway. Good preventative maintenance item. So I wanted to kind of take you through this car really quick, kind of show you it. I am gonna be doing the the clutch in its own video. It's not gonna be a vlog. It's gonna be a straight up how-to, just because I've been asked a few times, and you know, obviously I do a lot of vlogging, that's mostly what I do, but occasionally I'll do a straight up instructional. I will make that an instructional video. So let's right off the bat just kind of get a little walk around of it. I believe he said it's a GS model, so 9091 has the more square front end as compared to mine, which is more rounded, wider turn signals that curve around the bumper. All original minus the intake under the engine bay here. It's got ABS, surprisingly no ABS light on, so if any of you guys have DAs, you would know if you have ABS that light always goes on. Sensors are just old nowadays especially, but AC got serviced. He has working functional AC. It's been converted to R134, he told me. Power steering, cruise control should work. It's clean under here. A little dusty, a little grimy in a few areas, but you know, while we got the trans out, we're gonna do the trans a good solid cleaning and just make it look nice. I really want to not only make the guy proud or take pride in my work, but I just want to help, you know, just go the extra few feet, extra mile or whatever to make it nice. So the body itself is in good shape. It's got a few little dings, but overall it is beautiful. He said the quarter panel has been hit, so it's been repaired and repainted. I can see that it's got some air pockets in here from maybe some Bondo and a little bit of orange peeling, but it's in great shape. It's beautiful. Roof, absolutely mint, unlike mine. Doors, this one's locked, but hatch, one of the other things I might be doing for him is swapping out the hatches. He was installing a delete plug. It's one of those nice billet ones, and it went offset in there and put pressure on part of the glass, and it's obviously cracked. So that's really depressing. But we might be able to get him a glass or a hatch. My buddy has one, and we may just go ahead and get that for him, swap him out and get it painted. But this thing's in great shape. So factory-ish exhaust, not the dual tip that normally comes stock on these things, but you know, this one looks good and it's quiet. He's got the privacy cover here, speaker covers. These aren't the Gather ones, but I don't know, mine didn't have speaker covers, so maybe these are stock. But actually no, I'm sorry, mine did, but mine were like fuzzy. They weren't all mesh like that. You know, he's got the carpet and everything, the factory cardboard thing, so this is really cool to see. Mine, I don't think mine had the carpet in here when I first got it. Just a little bit of, you know, clear coat fade, because this is where the spoiler kind of rests over, or maybe, I don't know. But mud flaps, you know, a couple more dings on this. Just little door dings, but the interior of this thing is just so mint. Beautiful. So the mileage on this thing is 168,000, so it's kind of up there, but obviously it's a Honda, it's just getting broken in. Shifter doesn't feel that sloppy, surprisingly. So, wonder if those shifter bushings were replaced semi-recently. Feels pretty good. I love these factory DA shift knobs though. And being a GS model, does come with a sunroof, so that's cool. But, oh, the steering wheel's in mint condition too. That's a 9091 wheel, obviously being a 90 car, but didn't know if you guys knew there was a difference. He just got the windows tinted, so that's really nice. But yeah, this car all around is just super nice. It's obviously not 10 out of 10, but I give this car a solid 7.5 out of 10. It is beautiful. One of the best original ones I've seen, especially at this mileage, and really good on him. So really, I'm gonna get started on the suspension first because that's the easiest stuff. The transmission I'm gonna need a little bit of help with, mostly just getting it down so I don't have to crush myself because I don't have a lift, obviously. Now, hard race trailing on bushings, like I said, so that's easy. I'm gonna flip the car around here so I can put the back in so I can be working in the shade more or less under the tarp here. But yeah, this video, I think I'm gonna get started on everything, see if I can't get these trailing arms done and get these shocks put on. And then next video, like I said, totally descriptive, how to undoing the clutch and flywheel. But I am stoked. It just feels good to be able to help people out, and I love working on DAs, so getting to work on a super minty one like this, really gonna take my time, make sure I don't scratch it up or anything. But thank you, Eric, for the opportunity, and thank you for reaching out to me. And for those of you guys that maybe are looking to get a little bit of work done too, hit me up, maybe we can work something out. Tell me all about it. So before I get too far into this, I obviously got the wheels off and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the struts here in a moment. But I did want to crawl under here and inspect for some of the leaks. Now let me see if I can even get any camera angles, because this is really tight. So if you can see this really clean area right here, this is from leakage, and this was all wet. I just wiped it all off. But that really, the only thing that could be leaking on this side is the output shaft seal or the axle seal that's right here. So that's easy to fix. You just pop the axle out, which you have to do when I drop the trans anyway. And you just pry the old one out with a pick and hammer the new one in evenly. And then also right here, this is what's leaking on my car, on my Del Sol, is this shift selector seal. I thought it was a lot harder to replace than it is, but again, that's like a $10 gasket. You can kind of see as I move it, it starts dripping, starts forming up at the seal right there. But yeah, this is a $10 part, so that, as well as the oil pan gasket's leaking pretty good too. So I just went ahead and sent Eric some photos of this so he can kind of see where his leaks are coming from. He knows his rack is leaking before anybody mentions that, if you even noticed it. But yeah, so these are the three main leaks, as well as the rear main seal, which there was a lot of wetness right here, a lot of oil. But yeah, so I sent him photos of the three main leaks, and we'll see if he wants to do those as well. So best to let him know ahead of time, because he was curious as to where the leaks were. He crawled under it. He didn't really, wasn't too sure exactly where they were coming from. So pretty sure those 3 main areas are the culprits. I'm gonna get these struts pulled off really fast and then move on. So I've ran into my first problem here trying to get this rear strut off. I got the strut bolt out, but I tried to take this bolt out here from the hub, or the trailing arm, and it's seized to the bushing, so it unthreaded from that side, but it's just bending the other side out. So I was able to get this bolt out. Now I gotta disconnect the ABS line here from these two 10mm bolts, that way I can swing this arm down. I also gotta disconnect the sway bar end link right here, and then hopefully it'll swing down enough that I can get this strut out. I don't have to do the same to the other side. So he said this car was at Pennsylvania for one point in its life, and I'm starting to see it now. So pain in the butt, but nothing we can't handle. Alright, so this is the part that I really hate doing. I much prefer coilover combos, or full body coilovers or whatever, because you're pulling them right out of the box. You slap them in, adjust your ride height, and go. So using a strut spring combo, unfortunately you do have to reuse the top hat and stuff, so I do have to disassemble the factory strut. So pretty much all you're going to do is you're going to need some spring compressors, which are these. They have different styles, and these ones work. It's just, it can be dangerous, so whatever you do when you're doing this, absolutely never ever look directly overhead, like kind of like you're looking down the gun of a barrel, or the barrel of a gun, I'm sorry. This is essentially a gun. This will rip your face off if this goes off. If one of those slips and you take this off, it will shoot you right in the face, and that's, yeah, you don't want that. So anyway, fear aside, tighten these down, compress the spring a little bit, and then just pop off this 14mm nut with like an impact or something, and then you're good to go. And then reassembly is the exact same. So you're gonna, I found out because I did one last night, you're going to want to slide the spring over the new strut, and then you're going to want to compress it, because you can't compress it, at least not with mine, because the teeth on here are too big, so it just catches the sides of the strut, because you've got to reuse this little metal cartridge that's inside here. So a little scary, but it's not too hard to do, just a little time consuming. Got the spring strut combo set up, done. These are the fronts now. Both fronts are done. So not too hard. Like I said, it's just a little scary working with the spring compressors. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these rears. I won't film that, just since you just saw me do that on the time lapse. But tomorrow night after work, I'm gonna get these trailing arm bushings dropped and taken care of, and then put all the struts back up. And then Saturday morning we'll get started on that transmission, get that dropped. But again, that's gonna be a separate video. So I'm gonna just keep this video to the talking, and then these pieces right here, the struts and the trailing arms. So the angle is pretty crappy here, but I had to take the rear toe arm off of the trailing arm. Normally you would take the whole arm off with it, but in this case I can't do that on this side, because as you can see, it's not wanting to turn because the bushing itself is like rust welded to the bolt, because the inner bushing sleeve is a steel sleeve. So run into this issue before, and I did let the owner know. So he's aware that next time we come in here, we're gonna have to cut this bolt out, which is gonna be a pain in the butt, and replace this toe arm. Actually, he might even have to do that just to get the car aligned, but we'll see. They might be able to loosen this up enough with an impact or something to be able to scoot the arm. But yeah, as for this case, just to get the trailing arm bushings replaced, I have to drop the arm by doing this bolt over here instead, which I already did. So just got the 2 trailing arm bushing bolts here, the 2 17s, and the whole arm will come out. Same on the other side, just this bolt on the other side actually broke loose, so saved myself there. So guys, here's the next issue that I ran into. This bushing sleeve completely seized the bolt by backing it out. It ended up widening this and stripping the sleeve, or the nut here. So what I'm gonna have to do now is cut this bushing out, cut the bolt off so I can take the arm off, unbolt this, shave the nut off. I'm gonna have to re-weld a new nut in place. That's not too big of an issue, and I do have a replacement arm that I can put on temporarily until he decides to buy new control arms. But this is just one of the things that happens, you know, working on these old cars. Extremely frustrating, but nothing we can't fix. Got the bolt all cut off, for the nut, I'm sorry. Got it cleaned up so it's ready to weld on. All I had to do was unbolt the dust shield here. So I had to take the rotor off, which is those 2 Phillips head screws, then get access to these 4 bolts that you can get through these holes right here. Just line them up, use a 10mm socket. So that way I could rotate the dust shield so I didn't have to cut into it, because normally it sits right about there. And yeah, so rotated it, cut it off, it's all good now. I'm gonna go ahead and get these pressed in. I think I've made quite a few videos on this before, but just to show you guys what I use, I made my own little tool. So this may look like a weird contraption, but it works really well. So essentially, you know, just 2 old bushings, welded them together, some flat stock on top to press down on, and flat stock on the bottom. So the new bushing is a hard race one, which has the dog bone already inserted. So just set it in there like that, and then press it down and slides right in. So I got the new bushings in the freezer because that does help, you know, shrink the metal or whatever. So once I go put these on the press, then I'll go grab the bushings that the freezer press these in, and that will make that slide in really easy. And I'm not going to film all that. I'm not going to film the reinstallation, because you guys know reinstallation is just reversal of removal. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video off here though, because you don't need to see me pushing these in. I've got lots of videos on that. John Widmer has a very detailed how-to if you want to really know how to do it if you're new to that. So yeah, I'm going to get this taken care of today, try and get these arms mounted back up and stuff. And then tomorrow I'm going to start pulling the transmission out, because I got the seals coming in on Monday. And yeah, I got my work cut out for me for sure. This turned into a lot harder of a job than I anticipated, but something that I cannot take care of. So if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hip thrust that like button. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing, stick around a little bit. And yeah, anyways guys, do what you love, forget about the rest. Put this back together. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.